It's the NFL on EA Sports, where representatives from the AFC and NFC will square off. It's the Houston Texans and the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday night.
It's known as one of the loudest stadiums in sports for a reason, and it'll only get louder as the collective 12th man starts cheering for their Seahawks. Welcome to Lumen Field in Seattle. Welcome to another entertaining matchup, folks. Kate Scott, Brock Heward on the call in this one. And Brock, got a couple of running backs down on the field who can really take over their offenses when they get in the groove.
And I think that's going to be the ultimate goal of both of these offenses, right? I mean, there's just no confusion about it. They want to get their bell cow in that groove and get them going, find that rhythm where they're ripping off chunk yardage run after run and then just keep on feeding that beast. In a game like this, whichever offense can get that rhythm and run game going first is likely going to be your winner.
Here's Jason Myers to get this one going. And we're underway from Seattle. Set to return, this is Braxton Berrios. This return makes it up to the 25. So here come the Texans for their opening drive. And leading them out is the second overall pick back in the 2023 draft from the Ohio State. It's C.J. Stroud.
It didn't take long for C.J. Stroud to make an immediate impact into the NFL, and it didn't take long for me, Kate, to form an opinion, but this guy is just different. He just processes the game quicker. Remember talking to Ryan Day on the practice field in Columbus, watching him in college, and he just alluded to that as well.
And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And they're going to have to regroup after this one.
Playing in your own building, a little extra adrenaline as they take the field. No surprise, this home team feeds and plays off the crowd. First play of the game, and already we're seeing an impact being made defensively.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. On target to his back, Joe Mixon. We'll head out of bounds after a small gain.
You know, Kate, it is so hard on these defenses to try to keep an eye and monitor on these running backs when they leave the backfield, especially if he's waiting to chip a defender or delays in the start of his route. He's really an underrated part of their overall passing game.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stroud. Complete beyond the marker. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
It was such a privilege for me to watch Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Darrell Jackson out in Seattle. They showed how great a deep out is as a chain-moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route and then exploiting the leverage as that ball arrives on time downfield.
1st and 10 from the 41. Shotgun now for Stroud. That's a catch for Nico Collins. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Running for the first time with Joe Mixon. And he gets this one down to the 30-yard line. Just a little short, but still a 9-yard pickup. That's going to bring up 2nd and 1.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
On play action, here's Stroud. Short pass caught by his tight end. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And it sets up a Houston 1st.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
From the red zone now. This is complete to Schultz. And he's able to get this down to the 13.
You get this big old dude like him in the slot, it's an automatic mismatch advantage. You trade a little bit of speed, sure, but you sure do get a lot of size. And anytime he's in the slot, you got to assume the ball's going his way.
2nd and 3 now. From the gun, Stroud finds him over the middle. And he's tackled for no gain.
It was as if the defense knew what play was coming. That was a play they knew they could defend, and boy, did they ever, stopping it right at the line of scrimmage.
And the Seahawks adding an extra DB here. Third down coming. To the air yet again, it's Stroud. He brings it in. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, Kate, they say a dog is a man's best friend. Well, a tight end that moves the chains on third down, that's a QB's best friend.
This drive has been excellent. A few shots now. It's starting with 6 as they come up on it. First and goal. They're going to run here. It's Mixon. And he gets taken down immediately right at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and now it'll be second and goal.
You know, Kate, these are the situations in training camp that I love more than anything to watch. You learn so much about a football team in these goal-to-go situations. You know you got to protect that goal line, and the defense, well, they did the job on first down. More to come.
Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. And he's in! Touchdown, Houston! The Texans finish up an excellent opening series. Nico Collins with the touchdown. Well, you couldn't ask for a better start to a game than that. The offense taking it all the way down the field and finishing with 6.
These opening drives, Kate, are such tone setters. It is why every offense loves to script their first 15 plays, right? Everybody knows what's coming. Allows you during the practice week to get into rhythm, but even better when you're that sharp, that crisp, and you finish off.
So we've got a stoppage now. Figured this might be coming. We're going to take another look to see if this was indeed a touchdown. Ooh, it doesn't get much closer than this, Brock. Did that ball in any way break the plane of the end zone?
You know how I like to look at this, Kate? Imagine a plane of glass going from the front end of that end zone straight in the air. And any part of the ball, any part of it just touches the plane of that glass, and this is a touchdown.
So the celebration can resume on that sideline. The touchdown stands. Fairbairn connects on the extra point. And the Texans will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Here's Steven Sims with the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. So out come the Seahawks for their first offensive possession. And we'll take a glance at their 7th-year QB.
If we had asked Sam Darnold, coming out of USC as the 3rd overall pick in the draft, to write the story of his career, I don't think he would have written some of these chapters. But in the end, it makes you tougher. It makes you grittier. And playing quarterback in the NFL is a lot about that. Your ability to just withstand adversity and to continue to get up time after time after time. And Sam Darnold has shown that kind of perseverance.
Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on first down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
This is Walker on second. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth, yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
3rd and long for him here. Forced out to his... Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
It's exactly how you draw it up defensively. A 3 and out and a sack on top of it. Create that negative play. Create a little doubt in that quarterback's mind. And offensively, well, that's the worst way to start it. No rhythm, no tempo, and now you give the ball right back to the opponent.
Fourth down punt from the Seahawks, and that means we're going to see Michael Dixon head on to send it skyward. And the coverage team is there as he fields it, so almost nothing on that return before he stopped. And that punt gets up to 59 yards. And it's going to be Texans football. Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. They'll begin with a run by Mixon. And a power play up the gut only results in 2 yards. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Keeping it with Mixon. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the first down, but got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
First down, ball at the 36. On the ground again with Mixon. He gets it forward for a gain of 3. Devin Witherspoon there on the stop. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7. Stroud off the play fake. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete.
Well, that was almost one of those nice chunk plays you like to see in the NFL, Kate, before he was able to recover and provide the hit and ultimately dislodge the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays down the field.
They're going to throw it on 3rd and long. That's caught for the first. And they get this all the way down to the 16-yard line. That play good for 17 and a first down.
The analytics will tell you a handful of these kind of plays per game, and your odds per drive of scoring go way up.
A new set of downs awaits them. Here's 1st and 10. A give to Mixon up the middle. And they sent it straight ahead, but the front stops him after a gain of 3. Second down now, 7 to go. Here's Stroud now. Caught near the goal line. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs. So before they can set up for another play, we've hit the end of the first quarter. Neither side separating much so far. More from Lumen Field in just a minute. Welcome back. Time for our second quarter. The Texans with a chance to score. Mixon does not get in. His push is stopped just short of that goal line.
Made it all look so simple, didn't he? That linebacker sorting right through the traffic, finding the runner. That's instincts come to life.
They're lining up on the doorstep. 2nd and goal from inside the 1. Fullback trying to power it across. And he gets in. Touchdown. The Texans pull out in front further, 13-zip. If there's an argument for continuing to rely on a fullback, Brock, it is plays just like that remind us. They're pretty good at barreling in for touchdowns when they're given the chance.
And you know the greatest fullback name ever? Maybe you need to name your son Sam Gash. Because that dude, when I think fullback, I think Sam Gash just gashing people for touchdowns.
Fairbairn now for the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Texans double their lead to 14. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Returning it from the 4. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. So Seattle retakes the field for their second series. They haven't been able to get that offense going just yet, Brock. The deficit at 14. First play of the drive. Here's Walker. And he's able to manage a couple on that run.
You know, Kate, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Staying with Walker. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, first down.
Hey, these are the type of games he's counted on to get when they're available. Unfortunately, we had tremendous vision to see the seam and get through it before that window could close.
They're set up at the 35 now. First down, and they go right back to it. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. It's a pickup of 11. And the Seahawks will have a first down.
That's pretty good right there now. You don't always expect a sizable gain when you run it on first down. You just want some yards to set up an easier second down play. But they will take that execution every time.
Play action on first down. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
And right there's the danger, Kate, when you put the ball in the air. How many times do we see these coordinators, when you get a nice run, right, you gain some steam on the ground, you stick with the ground game. They don't. They call the pass, and the defense reacts, and reacts well with a sack.
Back to the line they go. It's second down. A give up the gut to Walker. And it's a nice gain, but still not enough for the first.
Even though that run did not net them a first down, I can promise you this, Kate. I promise you. I know how it works. They're going to circle that one. They're going to remember that one. And when they need some key yards on the ground, they'll come back to that call later.
It's 3rd and 8. Need to get a chunk here. Throwing here, Darnold. Cover man is there, and he harmlessly knocks it away. Incomplete. Gonna have to wait a little longer for his first catch of the game. And now they're staring at 4th and long.
That's just simply great positioning to swat the ball away. He stayed in a spot where he could disrupt the throw before the target could make a play on it.
Michael Dixon on to punt. First punt win 45 yards. This looks considerably further. Now this one, not much of a chance of it staying in the field of play. They'll mark it out at the 13-yard line. Out now come the Texans on offense. And while one sideline has 0 points, this offense, well, they have had 0 issues so far getting into that end zone.
They are rolling right now, Kate, and unless there's a speed bump on the immediate horizon, things are at risk of getting out of hand.
That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
1st and 10 are on the Mixon. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Offense to the line for second down. Stroud has his man. It's Mixon. And he's tackled with markers down. This one should be on the defense. Well, you know this better than most, Brock. Screens normally leave some rushers to come free, but still, it's not often you get roughing the passer on one.
No, it isn't, but I think of Tom Brady. To me, not only the greatest QB sneaker in the game, but he was one of the great screen masters, too. He understood how to sell a screen, draw those defenders to him, and like the QB did right there, sometimes they'll even tee off and you get the penalty. That can be a hopeless feeling when you fire a curl route right into zone coverage perfectly like that. Unless that curl happens to be right next to where one of your guys is sitting, that pass can hum in there and there's nothing this defense can do.
Slot man motioned over. Now he'll throw off the play fake. He's got it inside the 10. And they bring him down at the 7-yard line. They rip off a big chunk of field and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
One thing we don't have in football is we don't have that radar gun. But if we did, Kate, this is the kind of throw, when you throw it that deep outside the numbers, that requires a serious fastball, serious arm strength, and he just showed it off.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Slot man in motion left. Running with Mixon out of the gun. And it took a couple of guys to haul him down there after a gain of just 1.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and goal from the 6. Again, the give to Mixon. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. He gets him halfway there with a 3-yard gain. They'll need 3 more on 3rd and goal.
Well, you get a little bit closer, but you can feel the pressure starting to mount. Unless you're committed to playing 4 downs here, this becomes a critical 3rd down call.
3rd and goal. He keeps it left on the option. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. We're at the 2-minute warning now from Seattle. The Texans driving. Kaimi Fairbairn out there now to try a field goal for the Texans on this 4th down. Pretty easy kick here, Brock, just 22 yards. Everly's kick is good. And that one was hit great. It sails on through without incident.
In that close, in the red zone, you know they're upset. They couldn't finish the drive with the touchdown. It's only half the points, but at least there's something to show for the possession.
Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Fielded just shy of the end zone. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Seahawks offense ready to get going once again. And things starting to get a little out of hand for him, Brock. That last score made it 17-zip. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. That's caught by Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
A dose of the hurry-up offense here. Now Darnold. That's going to be an incomplete pass on the throw to the right. First time this game they've looked to him. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Hey, Kate, I know it's unrealistic to expect a 100% completion rate from anywhere on the field. But in this close, you really shouldn't be missing too many throws. Those need to be borderline automatic.
2nd and 10 now. He gets it complete to Kenneth Walker. And he's caught after a gain of about 2. Azeez Al-Shire that time on the tackle.
Some certainly do it better than others, Kate, but every running back in the league today has got to do just that. You cannot be a one-dimensional back in the league anymore. You can't. You got to be able to handle your business, both toting the ball as a runner And really importantly is a check down outlet on short throws.
And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Henry To'o comes up with it. And the Texans get the football on the first turnover of the contest. He was trying to fit it into a window in the zone coverage, but by the time he let it go, boy, Brock, that lane had closed, and someone was there to make a play on it.
Now, what you're trying to do in zone coverage defensively is make that quarterback see a window that isn't actually there. And as soon as he takes the bait and sends it over the middle, well, you got 1, 2, 3 defenders all there in range to go pick it off.
The Texans going on offense now, just before halftime. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. Here's Stroud on 1st and 10. He misfired on that one. It's behind his man.
Hey, Mr. Quarterback down there, that's a throw that's got to go somewhere else. Double coverage was waiting for it. QB super fortunate that ball wasn't picked. An incompletion, still pretty good for the defense, too.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Here's Stroud. Schultz with the catch. And he's tackled for a short gain. Timeout coming from the Texans. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. To the air, Stroud. Complete beyond the marker. And he's brought down at about that 27-yard line. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And the Texans are going to have a 1st down.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity. And man, did he make an impact play.
Stroud throwing here on 1st. Got his target, it's Higgins. We'll have him gain about a handful there. Devin Witherspoon there on the stop. All right, here we go. 2nd down. From the 21. And that one's going to fall incomplete. No luck there. Just 11 seconds remaining. He was trying to find Christian Kirk there. And it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up.
You really want those throws to be like clockwork for your offense. Every team needs to hit passes in that short to intermediate range to effectively move the ball.
Stroud now on 3rd. Throwing the out route complete. That's a gain of 13, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
Now it's Kaimi Fairbairn on to try it for the Texans. He's hit once already. This is a short one, inside of 30 yards. Everly's kick is good. And special teams convert to get them a little something out of that possession.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm. And no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm than start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. One final shot before halftime. He throws a bullet down the right sideline. Makes the catch, but does not do it in bounds. It looks like he came down on that sideline. 2nd down coming up. We've come to halftime. The Texans in unfriendly confines, but hey, they've got the lead. Now we'll go coast to coast. Jonathan Coachman standing by in our Orlando studios for the EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Kate, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our third quarter. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Starting from the 5. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Seahawks sending their offense out to begin the third quarter. They haven't come up with an answer quite yet on the scoreboard, and they take over down 20-0. They'll send their tight end right. They go play action on first. Bails out of the pocket quick. He's going to keep it this time.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 34. Connection made to Smith and Jigba. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And it sets up Seattle with first down.
The nice thing about a drag route is it works versus zone. You can find that soft spot and get a completion, but they can be very effective when you got an excellent route runner running away on that drag route from man coverage.
They'll go with Walker on the counter. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2.
These are the kind of runs, Kate, that just soften up a defense. Keep working on them, keep working on them. And eventually you're going to break one of those counters for even bigger yardage.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Cut out left. And a solid gain there. Gets him across the 45 before he goes out. It's a pickup of 9 yards. And the Seahawks will have a first down.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Handoff running left, Walker. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. That stop coming from Henry To'o. Halfway there on first down, that brings up 2nd and 5.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
Walker gets the pitch, and he's stopped at the 31-yard line. He manages a gain of 8 there, and it sets up Seattle with first down.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
Off the play fake, he's going to throw. Caught. Cooper Kupp makes the play. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And the Seahawks will have a first down.
Kate, when you watch the combine, you'll watch guys try to make this throw. And without chemistry, it's so hard to execute. That was picture perfect. That's a QB and receiver on the same page because that route, that deep out to the field, that takes just a different level of connectedness.
First down from the red zone. Has it in close. Touchdown, Seattle! It seems like a lot of the time, Brock, even if the results aren't quite as flashy every rep, tight ends are even more reliable scorers than a lot of receivers are when it comes to the passing game.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but there's also a lot more real estate for them to work with, right? Think of the receivers. They got to deal with the sidelines, that 12th defender. Many of these tight ends, they've got a ton of field to work with, and when they prove to the quarterback they can be a difference maker, he'll look for them.
Now it's Jason Myers on for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Seahawks drop the lead back to 13. Here's Myers now to handle the kickoff. Dameon Pierce now to return it. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Texans and C.J. Stroud all set to go for their next drive. And he has continued to own this defense and keep on throwing that football, partner, making this performance one that he's going to remember, but as you like to say, the defense will probably rather forget. First down, Stroud. That one falls to the turf, couldn't hang on, it's incomplete.
Oh, that drop is such a bummer because it ruins the payoff of such a well-designed play, Kate. Got the man open, beat the coverage, but then you got to go finish it. You got to go make that catch. I will say, keep that one in mind. They could revisit that play in the future.
It's Mixon on second down. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. Devin Witherspoon there on the stop. Only a yard for him that time, so now 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Stroud. He has the first over the middle. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
You'll often hear it said, in my life experience, it's true, the NFL is a game of matchups, so much more than any level. And these tight ends, we see it time and again, are such a matchup nightmare down the field.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. Ooh, almost a throw that cost him. Defender had it in his hands, but he dropped it. It's incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
You feeling lucky? Well, do you? Well, he should, because the quarterback got away with one right there. That was an easy pick dropped by the defense.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Out of the shotgun, a give to Mixon. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Defense looking to defend the marker on 3rd down. From the gun, Stroud. He's on the move. He's running for it.
Just not much to do right there, whether he wanted to run it or throw it. Even if he scraped a positive gain out of it, that's still a win for this defense.
Texans going to kick this away on 4th, and it's Tommy Townsend on for the punt. And he wasn't needed at all in the first half, partner. This is going to be his first punt. That's taken at the 15. And he's brought down before the return gets far. The Seahawks are headed out, and we'll see Kenneth Walker. That one an impressive 57-yard kick. And it'll be Seahawks football. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. To throw, here's Darnold. This is reeled in by Valdez-Scantling. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29.
That is a textbook 1st down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Now an inside give to Walker. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that 3rd down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Going to the ground again on 1st. And it's going to be about a 3-yard pickup in the end. That stop coming from Henry To'o. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7. Running with Walker again. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. It's a pickup of 3. They're going to need 3 more now on 3rd down. Off the play fake, he'll throw. Catch is made down the right sideline. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
What a spot for a big play, huh, Brock? It has him well into the red zone now with 1st and 10. Toss play. This is Walker. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9. 1st down play nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
With all these collisions these running backs take between the tackles, sure nice to get a little crease on the outside, get in that open field, and let these runners do their thing.
Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Hand off to Walker from the gun. And this is brought to a halt pretty early at about the 8. They manage a single yard that time. They're going to have to solve 3rd down and 4. Throwing here, Darnold. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. That's the end of the 3rd on Sunday night. It's the Seahawks with possession, needing to erase that deficit in a hurry. This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. And he bowls through the defense for a touchdown. The Seahawks now within 1 score in the 4th. Wow, Brock, hard to imagine a more effective play in their entire playbook for that particular spot right there.
You know, you get in this red zone, Kate, you want the ball in the hands of the guys you do trust the most to score. In a lot of cases, well, you trust your quarterback, and all he did was add to that trust.
Myers to add the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Seahawks get it back to within 6. So here's the kickoff, Brock. Just 6 points now separating our teams. Barrios now to return it. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Texans headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this 2nd half. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
That's a pretty good stop on 1st down. This defense now gets a chance to dictate, and that's what all the great defenses want to do, Kate. They want to dictate it on their terms and not just be reacting to what the offense is always doing.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. From the 27. This is complete to Schultz. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
Well, they got him down before he could do any more damage in terms of yards. And that's no easy job, mind you, tackling a big tight end. But the main damage had already been done. He kept this drive going by getting beyond the line of game.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Here's Stroud on 1st and 10. Hits him on the out route. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on first down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Staying between the tackles with Mixon. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. Just 2 yards there on the carry. They're going to need another 2 now on 3rd down. Stroud off the play fake. Completes beyond the marker. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage. Man in motion, out of the slot. Stroud throwing here on 1st. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Flat out a tremendous call. Perfect timing to blitz the corner, and the result proves it. There was barely time for the QB to set himself up to throw, let alone look downfield for a target before he was absolutely decked by somebody who I think enjoyed that chance to rush the passer.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Trying again, following the sack. Fits it through the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They managed 22 on the rip and a 1st down.
Wow, certainly found the weak spot in the coverage with that catch. Really goes to show they trust every single player, receiver, running back, in that case, tight end, to be a playmaker in this offense.
A give to Mixon up the middle. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards.
If there's ever a play we could call garden variety in the NFL, I think we just saw it right there. That's an uneventful run and a pretty sound stop there defensively.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. On the ground again with Mixon. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. A couple yards on the run. It's 3rd and 6 now. Now they'll throw out of the gun. Escapes the pocket. And they bring him down. Looks like he got it to the 27.
It's one of those situations, not much to be had there no matter what he did with the ball. Even if he scraped a positive gain out of it, that's still a win and a confidence builder for this defense.
Kaimi Fairbairn on now as we see how he handles this moment. This will be a 44-yard look. Everly's kick is good. And that'll make it a 2-score game.
It doesn't take a math major, Kate, to realize how important that field goal was. It's now a 2-score game really late and puts them in the driver's seat to go and finish this thing with the win.
Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Starting at the 10. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Seahawks offense taking the field now. They'll try to emphasize what worked on their last drive, which ended, Brock, in a touchdown. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Now Darnold. Throwing the out route complete. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Offense in the hurry up here. Darnold now to throw. Got him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And the Texans grab it! And Houston returns this to the end zone. Touchdown! The Texans could lock away the win as they make it a 15-point game. Like a freight train leaving the station after scooping up that fumble. Oh, he got moving on his way to the end zone, Brock. Nice hustle from the big man.
Is there anything more fun than seeing these big old human beings get their chance to get on a scoreboard? You see how it just ignites everybody.
Offense trying to add to the defensive effort and turn 6 points into 8. He's throwing for it! And he has it inside the end zone. That's going to add 2 to their lead here late. They get the 2 out of it, partner. Nicely done, but into double coverage. Felt like they kind of got away with one there.
That is a quarterback's best friend. I can't tell you how many times your players, your teammates, your offensive skill guys around you come back to huddle. Just say, give me a chance. Please, just give me a chance. Throw it up. I'll make you look good. And he did right there.
Still reeling a little after fumbling that away, but they're going to get it right back with this kickoff. He'll take this at the 10. They'll begin from the 36 as the returner's brought down. The Seahawks and Sam Darnold heading out for their next shot on offense. And there's a couple of moments we're seeing here that I think he's not going to want to be reminded of after this game. Turnovers have just interrupted his performance in this one. Made it really tough for him and this team to get into and stay in any kind of rhythm. The Seahawks in good field position to start this drive off as they head up to the line. 1st and 10. Darnold. He's going to loft one deep to the left. Brought in inside the 20. And he flips the field for them before being taken down.
The analytics are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive chunk. You got to get the big play. And that throw to the outside, that gets the job done.
Working inside the red zone. Into the hands of Walker. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line. Now after making that catch, we see he's shaken up. Trainer's heading out to take a look. Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Here's Darnold to throw. Has some room to work. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. It's a 6-yard gain. That sets up 1st and goal. So we're down to the 2-minute warning here from Seattle. Seahawks trying to make it look a little nicer on that scoreboard. They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Darnold looking to throw. On the move, headed right. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Seattle. The Seahawks get it back to within 2 possessions. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
That one splits the uprights. And the Seahawks cut the lead down to 10. The clock, everybody. That is certainly not their friend as they get set to try an onside kick. And the Texans secure that kick, no problem. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line.
Hey, the numbers don't lie. The numbers tell you, Kate, time and again, it is so hard to recover these onside kicks. And when you got an opponent prepared for it, well, that makes it even more difficult.
The Texans and wide receiver Nico Collins ready to go once again. And I think by this point we can all agree, Brock, that he is not going to be stopped until the clock stops at the end of this game. He just continues to make catches count in this second half. Now the give to Mixon. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4. The Seahawks calling for a timeout. They're first to 3. As they'll meet and decide what to do on this second down. Keeping it with Mixon. And this one doesn't go far. Timeout taken by the defense. They're second. And they'll have just one left to burn now. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Back to throw, Stroud. Why not go back to it again if it's working? Complete. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on first down. He goes to a knee as time winds down in this one.
This is situational football at its best. There's still some time left to bleed off the clock, but the really important thing here is you've got to bleed every second of that clock that you can.
Second down, probably going to see him kneel it again here. Now a give to Mixon. A lot of grass ahead. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
It was University of Wisconsin, Kate, the first time I heard this term, slow to explode through. And think how good that Badgers run game has been at the college level. Well, they made runs like that look easy. Slow to explode through.
Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on first down. The Texans only moments away from finalizing their win as they take a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
So the Texans come away with the road win. And it was a game for fans of high-scoring football, wasn't it? I know Brock was enjoying seeing both of these offenses work, and really not a lot to dislike from either group. Just one side working at a slightly better clip than the other. That was the difference in the win. Well, that'll do it for us, for Brock Heward and our entire hard-working crew. I'm Kate Scott. This has been the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Seattle.